Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahusha, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahusha Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, double honor to the apostles, the elders, salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching and truth and in sincerity. And this lesson will be entitled, Defining So-Called White Privilege. Lord, will you are edified. This video was inspired by a video on the page of Rawai La Yasharallah. And his video is entitled, The Nations Are Fed Up with Esau.
So this really made me think about it. And fuck no. Yes, a white person should be able to come here and own this villa, but a brown person should be able to go to England and fucking own a house there, or work there and save up enough money to buy a house there. So what's happening isn't sharing. And I think this is contained in the very definition of privilege. If everybody's able to do something, it's not a fucking privilege, is it? White privilege only exists at the expense of everyone else, at the expense of the world.
But why? Why? Why is there a such thing as so-called white privilege? Daniel 4:17, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High Yahweh rule in the kingdom of men and give it to whomsoever he will. This is the reason why there is a such thing as so-called white privilege. And in essence, the reality of this term should be pronounced as or dictated as Esau's privilege, okay? And set up over it the basis of man. And Esau is the basis of man. However, this is the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua to magnify a base man such as Esau and give him the fatness of the earth. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Okay, the earth is given. Okay, who gave the earth into the hand of the wicked? According to Daniel 4:17, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, who is the wicked. Whereas Edom, so-called white people, say we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places, hence the Renaissance. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, going into ultimately Esau's kingdom, Esau's rulership. But I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. Call who? The them is referring to the so-called white people based on the lineage of their fathers, okay? The border of wickedness and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh have indignation, righteous anger forever. All right, back in Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Okay, so Esau is the wicked. And the reason why you have this so-called white privilege is because of what? Genesis 27. And verse 38, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? And who is Esau's father? Isaac. Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. He's a fucking crybaby. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above, referring to his rulership. his kingdom, his dominion, and therefore you have what? So-called white privilege. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Okay. This is the reason why you have so-called white privilege. Let's get another one. Second Ezra 6 and verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? Okay, key point, or when shall be the end of the first, referring to so-called white privilege. Verse 8, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and we are in the end of Esau's world. However, this is the reason why you have so-called white privilege. And Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. Now, Jacob is a symbolic representation for the kingdom of heaven, or the kingdom of Yahushua. Let's get Romans 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. Hence, Daniel 4 and 17. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. The powers that be at this time frame is who? The wicked, which is who? Esau, so-called white people. Whosoever therefore resists the power, resists the order or ordinance of the Most High, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. All right, but the key point is that the Most High has ordained Esau to have control over the entire world. Let's get Revelation 12th chapter. Revelation 12 and 12. Rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Referring to who? Esau, Edom. So-called white privilege. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you. The devil, Esau, Edom, having great wrath, because he know that he have but a short time. Meaning what? His rulership is coming to an end. All right. Let's get Isaiah 14. It's like Isaiah 14 and verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee, to meet thee at thy coming. Right, because Esau is going to be in a low condition, such as slavery. It stir up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. Referring to these rulers of these heathen nations, it have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. Okay. Let's jump down to verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Now this is referring to who? The nobility of Edom. Okay. Hence the international bankers. Hence the Rothschilds and the other elite Edomite families. They control this entire system. Son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations through their military, their control over the money system and the sword. verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? Now once Yahushua brings Esau down, okay, so-called white privilege will never exist again, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. And that's literal. All right. And everybody is in Esau's prison mainly because of this system. Okay. But it all goes back to the blessing. The blessing, the blessing, the blessing. All right. So defining white privilege is basically, well, you know what? Let's look up that term, privilege. Is it P-R-I? Yeah, there you go. So privilege goes into grant, commission, priority, right, law applying to one person, bill of law in favor of or against an individual, an order in favor of an individual. Okay, so Esau's privilege comes from who? Our forefather, Isaac. Okay, this favor was given to Esau based on the blessing or dominion that Isaac promised Esau. That is the reason why you have so-called white privilege. And the definition of privilege is what? A person that has favor of something. And Esau has the entire world at this time frame, because the Most High gives the kingdom or the kingdoms. Well, Salaki, I got that wrong. Let me rephrase it right. The Most High set up the basis of men just to show his power, that he rules in the kingdom of men. Lord, will you are edified. Shalom.